Hello, hello, hello. If you are here right now, drop a quick hello inside the chat or hi and let me know where you're watching from. I love seeing where everyone's tuning in from all around the world, and I would love to know as well, in addition to the highs and the hellos, if you can hear me. If you can hear me and you can see me and everything's working properly on your end, if you could give me an all good in the chat, I would really, really appreciate it. I just want to make sure everything's working properly. Hi, everyone. Hi, Anna. Hi, Anna. Hi, Camilla. Hi, Javier. Hi, Gemma. Awesome. I see that we have Poland in the house. We have Ireland in the house. Great to see you, Jay. Hi. Hello from Nashville. Excited to see you, daughter Julie. Excited. Thank you, everyone, for letting me know everything's working all good. Appreciate you, Chris. Awesome. I see some AA members here, which I love to see. And if we haven't met yet, welcome. My name is Nicole Reynoso. I am part of the Authority.io team. And inside of our program, the Authority Accelerator, we help experts take their skills and their knowledge and package them into a highly scalable online program. Today, we have a very exciting story for you with one of our very own AA members who will be sharing his journey since enrolling into the AA program. So this is going to be a must watch. If you are here today and you're excited about that, give me excited in the chat. I just want to make sure that we are all tuned in, listening ears. Amazing. Okay, perfect. And then also, if you are watching and you are a part of the AA community, give me an AA in the chat so I can shout you out, because I want to see everyone showing up. I do appreciate anyone inside of our community showing up and supporting everyone here. So really excited to have you all here. Thank you, everyone, for typing in the chat. I see everyone excited. I see excited in the chat. I love it. And I see AA from Anna. I see excited. I see hello, hello, hello. Perfect. Awesome. We also have 3D learner here and Chris Davis. I'm excited to have you here. Hi, Jay. Looks like you are in AA as well. And then also I want to note, if you are here today and you are really excited to hear Marc's story, I'm going to introduce him in a bit. Make sure to hit the like button. And if you are here and you want to get inspired by the other stories of other members inside of our community, I encourage you to subscribe as well. Sunny refers to this as an inspiration station. I like to think of that as well. So I'm so excited everyone is here. Thank you for joining today live. And before we get our special guests to come on, I want to set the stage for you. So because of the magnitude of this transformation, this huge transformation, I want to make sure you're not only hearing his story, but you're going to walk away with tactical tips that you can start implementing in your own business right away. Okay, so let's get into it, shall we? First, I want you to picture this. Back in 2012, Marc started putting himself out there on YouTube. Slowly but surely, his channel grew. By 2014, he had launched his first online program, just like he saw others doing. With a low ticket offer, a higher ticket offer, and webinars or live sessions to bring people in. The problem, sales would trickle in here and there, but nothing about it felt sustainable in his business. And so his clinic in San Diego was still his main source of income. And while the online side of things showed flashes of potential, it wasn't something he could rely on. And so he had tried coaching before, and he knew the value of having the right mentor, but he also knew deep down that what he was doing just wasn't going to get him the level of growth and stability he was seeking. And so let's fast forward to today. Let's just say Marc's business doesn't even look like the same operation. He went from scattered offers and unpredictable sales to building a focused, thriving company with a single signature program, helping couples on their fertility journey. And the results, both in terms of impact and revenue, are nothing short of jaw-dropping. So you're about to hear exactly how that transformation happened, step by step, directly from Marc. So without further ado, let's bring Marc on. Marc, hello. Great to see you.
Hey, Nicole. Hey, everyone. Yeah,
hello.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited. And so first and foremost, as always, I'm curious, can you actually take us back to when you first started in your fertility business? What was your vision then, and how has it evolved over the years?
I mean, when I first started prior to 2012, it was 2003. And, you know, I just wanted to open up a clinic and start working with patients. I'd never had this vision of doing anything online. The online world at that time was totally different. And so I really just wanted to open up a clinic. I had a business partner at the time, And our goal was to open up, 2 or 3 clinics in the San Diego area, and really just start to see as many patients as possible, bring in associates, and really just be one-to-one
Yeah.
for money and brick and mortar, and just working in that way. Fast forward, we were about 8 years into the business, and 8 or 9 years into the business, and the two of us were just going in 2 different directions. I'll spare you with the divorce story, which is really what it was. But it just wasn't working out, and so I separated from him and just maintained my own clinical practice. We had 2 locations, so he took one and I took one, and then I opened up a second location as well, because that was what I was doing at the time. And what ended up happening for me was that I needed to start to see things differently after that separation and starting my own thing. I wanted to simplify things, but I also wanted to just explore different opportunities and think outside the box. And that's kind of how, starting YouTube really, really occurred. It was more like, oh, this seems interesting, something different and new. And I wanted to share with my patients. Actually, it was more created for those people in my office than for anywhere else. It was like I was just repeating a lot of the same things over and over and over again. And I wanted to stop repeating myself. And, fast forward to what Sunny says now is like, stop doing the same thing over and over, just make a video. So that's what I did. I made a video on whatever that topic was, and I started sharing it with my patients. And then I started at the same time getting messages from other people all over the world who were on YouTube, and they were like, hey, I like what you have to say. Can you support me? Can you help me? And I was like scratching my head. And I turned to my marketing director at the time, who's now my everything director. She's my operations manager. And I said, there's something here. We should do something with this and create something a little bit more. And we were watching others doing something similar, right? Like I saw, when I was on YouTube, I saw people creating programs and all of this sort of stuff. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. We could do something similar. And then we just started to work through it and piecemeal, like how would we create something and what would that look like? And as you mentioned in the intro, I created, 2 or 3 offers. And when things, interestingly enough, like I would get a sale here or a sale there, and so I was like, oh, maybe I just need a different program. And so then if I go back and look in my, hard drive, I'm sure there's like 4 or 5, like, oh, I've got these smaller programs and I got this, and let's see how we put this all together. And I just thought that was, the right way to do it. Yeah, because I saw people selling a low ticket product, and then a higher ticket product, and then something else. I said, oh, okay, we can do this. And then I was also doing one-on-one
on top of that.
On top of that. So I was selling these programs, and then my higher ticket thing was my one-on-one coaching. And that's really what I was doing before I joined AA. I knew things were, it was exciting and it was fun and different, which got my adrenaline going, which was nice. But in the same token, like you mentioned, we couldn't get consistent sales. We couldn't get consistent people joining. We thought we had a system, but we didn't really know what we were doing, and we really didn't have a system altogether. And so that's really what I was doing before AA.
That's truly gold. And I just want to emphasize some things you shared. And if this resonates, like Marc's before picture resonates with anyone here, maybe you're going through the same struggles. Maybe you're feeling like your business is a bit complicated or complex. Maybe there's a lot of moving parts that don't necessarily make sense. Give me a complicated in the chat. I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. Give me complicated. But you also said that YouTube was such a powerful tool, and that's really how Sunny stumbled upon YouTube as well. So I love that you both have a very similar parallel journey there. That brings us to the next piece here, which is really exciting. But can you actually tell me a little bit about your program and how it aligns with your own story?
Yeah. So I loved helping. I love helping couples grow their families, have children, and I discovered that in my final year of school, when I
Mm,
was when I was started working with patients. The patients who were starting to come to me were women who had issues with their menstrual cycles, have difficulty getting pregnant, and other of my colleagues weren't seeing those sorts of patients.
mm,
And I was like, oh, this is interesting. It's really nice to be able to help somebody in this way. But it wasn't something that initially I had thought out to do. And what ended up happening was that first woman, about 4 months working with her, she came in and she said, I think something's wrong. I don't, my cycle's gone. It's missing. I don't have my period. What's going on? And I sent her to the bathroom with a pregnancy test. And sure enough, she was pregnant. And so when she came back with this big smile and told me she was pregnant, like that changed my life. Like
mm,
I know it changed her life. I helped her with her first and her second. But that totally changed what I wanted to do. It really showed me that this was possible. This was something that was impactful to people and something really special. And so that's what pushed me down this road. At the same time, I helped my brother, who was also struggling a little bit, and I helped him with his first set of twins. I say first set of twins because he has 2 sets of twins.
oh my goodness.
Um,
Wow.
so that totally changed where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do with my life.
Yeah.
And then from there, it was more like, how can I help more people?
Yeah.
For me in my clinic to help more people, I needed to work more hours and more days. Like there was many years ago, there was the only day off I had was Sunday. I was working 6 days a week,
Mm,
and long hours. And I knew that couldn't sustain. I
yeah.
knew that wasn't the way to continue to work for whatever 40 years or whatever it was going to be. And so I wanted to do something different and, modify that. And this really has allowed me to do that. My life today, in terms of how I manage my days and what my days look like, dramatically different than what they were
Mm.
in 2010.
That's amazing. And
Yeah.
to your point about when you worked at the clinic, and the focus really was about you had to trade your time for your money. And that is a tale as old as time when it comes to a lot
Yep.
of people who work, one-to-one, one-on-one. And so thank you for sharing that and also sharing kind of what that looks like. And I think it might be helpful for others to know. Do you mind sharing who you help in your
Oh,
program?
yeah. Thanks. I forgot
Of
about
course. No, you're fine. Absolutely.
that. So my program is to help couples conceive and primarily find out the root issues that they're struggling with and restore their hope and belief that they can conceive so that they can believe in themselves and have children, have a family. That's the couples that I help. And I do that through coaching them to find the root issues that are preventing them from conceiving. Most often, they're told all these different things, and the only solution that they're given is IVF. But the reality is if couples could conceive naturally, that would be their goal. So that's really my goal with all of my couples.
Oh, that's beautiful. And your work is so needed. So thank you so much for creating that impact and success ripples with the work you do.
Thank
And
you.
of course. And so I'm curious, can you take us back to that moment before you joined AA again? You touched upon this, but I want to know what was going through your mind and what made you decide you needed to make a change.
Yeah. If I wanted consistency. I wanted things to be simple and straightforward. I wanted a process and a plan. And in the end, I wanted to see results. Like I knew that others were doing something similar and they were getting results, and I wasn't getting anything consistently, to allow this to be a real business. Like, it was a hobby before. I was just like, oh, this is fun, and I can do things on YouTube, and I can connect with people all over the world. But I really wanted to make it a business, and it wasn't that in 2018. I really wanted a process to work within. And again, that wasn't the case before that. So the turning point for me was, we would just get some sales and I would get frustrated because we would just see this little like blip, and then it would drop, and then blip and drop. And I didn't want to be seeing patients 6 days a week anymore. So I was looking for something that could really make a significant difference. So of course I went to YouTube to try to find something. That's really when I stumbled across Sunny's videos. I actually think I also found her on some sort of like summit, or
like a conference.
She was talking at some event, or so I saw her in multiple places, and right around that time. And so I was a little hesitant to reach out and to see what it was about, but everything that I saw made a lot of sense to me. And so that's why I started to look down that path towards joining AA. I think at the time she had actually a different program, and I started looking at that first, and then I realized like that wasn't enough for me. And so that's when I tried to find something different, and then realized she had something else.
Yeah, no, that's actually perfect, because that leads us into the very next question I have for you, which is really around AA, because we have a really vivid picture of your before. Knowing you and I know each other very well now. I know what your after looks like, and I could not be more thrilled for you. But what made the biggest difference for you being inside of the AA program?
I mean, first of all, process. Like, there was actually a process to follow.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that AA starts with, creating your ICA and calls, and like some of those things I was able to quickly move forward through because of I already knew a lot of that, and I had worked through some of those things previously. But really having a process to take me step by step on how you refine your program. So that was important for me, because at the time, previously, I had told you I thought I needed like multiple programs, and lower ticket and higher ticket. And it did take me a little bit of time to get rid of my lower ticket offer. Like I trusted Sunny, but I was like, do I really want to let go of that? Like, I worked hard to create this. Do I really want to let go of it? But so it took me a little bit to really get to that place to be able to do that. But really the biggest thing is having a process to follow step by step, and having a community to lean back into when you have struggles and you hit walls. And so those to me are invaluable. I've always, whenever I've made strides and growth personally and in business, I've always had a coach of some sort. And I've also had gaps of time without a coach. So I saw me joining AA as this was like Sunny was going to be my coach, even though it wasn't a one-on-one coach. I viewed her as going to be my coach, and the program is going to guide me through all of that. And so AA helped me refine my program, and really create something much more robust and comprehensive than what I had done before. Excuse me. And then it taught me how to properly use YouTube. Like, to me before, it was all about views. I need to get a lot of views on my videos. And I'm not saying views are bad. Views are good. But it taught me that really I need to create a video that is talking to my ideal client.
Yeah.
I needed to create a video that was useful and important to them, and not just for views. The views will come, and if you create a video that has value to them and is talking to them, that in return, you're going to find the right people that are going to reach out to you who want to utilize your program and work with you. And that was something I did not have clarity on before. So for me, that was a huge thing. So structure and support, and then really how to properly use YouTube.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. What I'm hearing is you found the blueprint. You found an easy to digest blueprint that you could follow step by step. And truly, I think that's kind of why I'm seeing a lot of questions in the chat asking what's complicated. What we were talking about was Marc's previous business, when he had his business before enrolling into AA, his business was very complex. I think there were a lot of moving parts, and having AA and access to AA has given him a streamlined blueprint. And so if you too are finding that your business feels really complicated, you are an expert at what you do, but you want that blueprint to make it more efficient for you, I have on the screen right here a website that you can go to apply now if you want to see if you're a fit for the AA program. It is sunnyleonarduzzi.com/apply if you are interested in applying today. So I just want to make that note. If you're feeling that way, or if you are an AA member and you understand exactly Marc's struggles, because you two are probably in the same boat, you can speak to this too, and I'm sure you can attest. But thank you for sharing that, Marc. That's that's truly gold. And this kind of goes into it, the next question I have for you, but what has been the biggest mindset shift that has led to your success?
The first one I would say is that just this can be its own business, and it has become its own business. And the other mindset is like shift is how I, AA is not just about helping you create a program or how to use YouTube. It's how to run a business as well. And so for me, the biggest mindset shift is how I manage the business itself. How I manage myself and my time, how I manage others, how I work with the people in my program. All of those things are probably the biggest mindset shift for me. Look, I was working 6 days a week in person, one-on-one before. Now I see patients 1 to 2 half days a week in my clinic. And the rest of the time I spend supporting couples all over the world. And I get to pick up my kids most days from school when they need it. I get to take them wherever they need to go. I have my time and my freedom back in the way that I want it, and the way I want to manage it. And those things are just invaluable. So that is all the things that AA has taught me and afforded me to be able to have.
Priceless, truly priceless, because time is our most valuable resource and asset. So I cannot imagine, actually this goes to the next question I have for you, which is, and you touched upon this because I know time is a big key to this, but if you had to think about your life before and after AA, what are the main differences for you, including time?
Freedom. Freedom and peace of mind. Now I have another business that is its own entity, and to some people would say that doesn't give you peace of mind or freedom. You have more responsibility. To me, that gives me peace of mind and freedom. So, and really, most of all, it's afforded me the ability to help so many more people. I couldn't have helped the amount of people I've been able to help and reach that amount of people without having AA to support me and help me create the program that I've created and be able to properly utilize YouTube in the way that I've done it.
I want to highlight and emphasize what you just shared right now, because imagine you had not discovered AA. Imagine you just never enrolled. Your impact would have been limited to a local area. Maybe your YouTube would have taken off, but I'm really so grateful that you did find us when you did. And, this is what's like how your journey has unfolded, which makes me so thrilled to hear. And so thank you for sharing that, because that's the beauty of an online course. You aren't limited to a local area. You can make a massive global and reach globally. So it's really huge and really amazing to see the impact. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, if you're finding value in this interview, in this case study, please give us a value in the chat. I just want to make sure that Marc's story is really like resonating. If it's resonating with you, go ahead and feel free to share your takeaways. If you have questions that are coming up, drop your questions. We will make sure to let you know how you can connect with Marc at the very end of this as well. So hold on for that. But going back, and then also, if this is helpful for you, go ahead and share it with someone who you may think might take away from this or might get an impact from this interview. And feel free to like it if you are enjoying this interview as well. Okay, Marc. Question for you. Looking back, what part of AA's framework or process made the biggest difference in your growth?
I would say the how to use YouTube properly.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I didn't fully understand, how it worked and how to utilize it. And I didn't have clarity on that. And so that piece of AA, of how to properly create your videos and make them and then post them properly, how to manage all of that to me, it was super, super valuable. I mean, very quickly after we joined, and we're able to start to make all the necessary changes to our procedures and what we're doing.
Yeah.
The results were very, very quick. I mean, I think our investment, we got a return on our investment in like the first 2 months. And I remember having that conversation with my operations manager, and we were like, what? Because we were hesitant before.
Naturally.
We see this and we see how like all the results that people are getting. And I was like, I don't know, like, is this real? We would question it a little bit. And then but after we joined and we started working through the process and going through all the things. And I think that's also a big thing, that Sunny taught me, is she's not doing the work for us.
Yeah.
She's teaching us a system so that we can do the work for ourselves. And that wasn't only valuable for me within AA, it was valuable for me within my own program, because it's the same thing within my own program. Like I can tell you what to do, but I can't do the work for you, for my members as well. And it's something that I often repeat to them, and we say to them before they ever join, like, the values in the program for sure, but we can't do that work for you. You've got to do it. So if you're ready to do the work, then the program can help you and be part of it. And I think that is also hugely valuable as well, because you have to put in the energy, the time, the resources to make something out of the information that's there, and make it worthwhile.
I think that's a really big key too, because again, it's a blueprint. It's not necessarily us doing the work or, holding hands to get the work done. We really do look for those who are accountable and going to be radically accountable for their own growth and success. But because it's such an amazing blueprint, it really does go to show, if you do the work and you do it properly, you follow it step by step, you can see results. You will see results. And so thank you for sharing that. And also, I think it's important to be as transparent, because it is not an easy program. It's not simple.
No,
it takes time, takes effort, and takes a lot of energy. But those who do put in the work see a massive return. And you saw a return on investment in 2 months after doing the work, which I am a big fan of. I love that. That makes me really, really happy. But I also think what you shared about having that doubt at the beginning is so normal. For anyone here who is feeling that same sense of doubt, I'm sure you see this may be the first case study you've seen to date. Maybe it's been the 50th case study you've seen, because we do this every quarter. But this is not only an inspiration station, these case studies, it really does go to show like there are thousands of testimonials talking about AA and everyone's journey going through AA after enrolling. And so you have to like consider, with that doubt, the biggest question to ask yourself is, are you willing to do the work if you get the blueprint? Because I think that is the number one question. If you are not willing to actually put in the work, then maybe the AA is not for you. But if you are willing to do the work like Marc and many of our other AA members, then I would consider applying. So I would, again, I'll mention this last one more time, but the link is sunnylenarduzzi.com/apply if you are looking to apply and see if you are a fit for AA. Okay.
Can I comment on something, Nicole, that you just said?
Yes,
so
please.
When we joined,
yeah,
I say we because everything I've done was always been with my operations manager. Like she's my right-hand person through all of it. And we specifically said, we're going to join. And this is an investment both in money, but also in our time and energy. And we said, if we're going to do this, then we need to create the time in our schedule on a regular basis to be able to make it all work, right? To be able to apply all the things that we're learning and doing within AA. So we carved out, like I cleared my schedule, we carved out a lot of time to be able to make it worthwhile, to be able to move through the program properly. And that's part of like the doing piece, right? And putting in that effort and making it happen.
I think that's so important because that is what makes a great student is making the time. So thank you. And also kudos to you, because it is really easy to invest into something and completely forget about it or not do anything with it. But if you are at a place where there is a certain, not like you feel that need, that desperation to do something, make a change about it, you will make the change. And so huge note there. And I'm so glad that you are like making that a point, because if everyone just carves out that time, it truly can be like 10 minutes a day. It could be 1 hour a week, and that will move the needle, right? And so that's really important to note. But this actually brings us to the last question that I had for you today, which is, if you were to speak to either the before version of you, when you didn't have AA, who maybe was considering investing and maybe doubtful, or anyone who's thinking about investing in AA or is on the fence about enrolling, what would you say to that person?
As long as you're willing to put in the time and energy on your end, it's a no-brainer. Like you will be a different person. You will have a different life. In my case, you will have a different business on the other side of it. If you commit, I'm sure in all online programs, there are people who buy a program and don't do much with it. That happens throughout the online world. I will say that this is a program for someone who wants to do something in the world, who wants to create an impact, wants to impact other people's lives throughout the world. And if you're looking for a system to actually do that and help walk you through that process, this is what AA is. And, if I told myself before, just do it, you won't regret it. It will be a different life for you on the other side of it. I mean, I wouldn't have believed it. That's number one, but that's the truth. Like that is the reality. Like it's a game changer, on the other side of it.
Yeah, it's so true though, because at the very beginning, it's so normal to be like, can I do this? Like, will this work for me? That question is so normal to ask, but I'm so glad you took that leap of faith in yourself and the investment, and you knew that there was going to be a return on investment should you do the work. So huge thank you so much for your time today, Marc. I also just want, because Rabia asked a great question. Rabia asked, how can we connect with Dr. Marc Sklar? I would love for you to share how others can connect with you.
Yeah, so obviously you can check out my YouTube channel if you want. It's Fertility TV. But you could just go to marcsklar.com And then I'm on all the socials as well, at the Fertility Expert. And so you can DM me there if you want to connect with me, and yeah, I'd be happy to chat with anybody.
I love that. And then another question, I'll pull some questions right now before we
Sure.
wrap up. Another question is asking about how can I apply? So if you're looking to apply to the AA program, the best place to start is going to sunnylenarduzzi.com/apply. It's on the screen now, so you can apply there. And really important to know, I'll actually drop that in the chat for everyone as well, just so that you have it. But that is the number one place to go. There we go. Another question, let's see. Oh, Life Coaching by Design asked, will we get an overview of the AA program and what's included in the cost? Would love to know more. Absolutely. I want to answer that, but I also need to note that in order to get all of that information, not the overview necessarily, but in order to understand what's included inside of AA, we do need to have a conversation to make sure that you are also a fit. So it's important that you do apply just to have that conversation with someone on our team. We are a real team. We will have that conversation and we will chat through and answer all those questions on the call. So it's a course consultation call. So really wanted to make that known. Zaire, and you don't have to go too deep into this, Marc, but Zaire and Associates asked, can Marc talk about his first video creation?
Yeah, it was done in my old office in a little room, and I didn't have any lighting. I'm not even sure I had a good microphone. I don't even know what we were using at the time to record. I don't recall, but I had, like a script, and I was just trying to follow it. It was very, very basic and simple, but I was speaking, but it didn't matter for me at that moment in time because I was speaking to the patients that I was supporting locally. So they already knew me, and they were just looking for, like, I was creating a video for them to be able to do some things at home and without having to like teach them in person. So it was very different than, the information that I'm creating today. But to that point, even today, my filming is still relatively simple and straightforward. It doesn't have to be. I've used all of it. I've used the most, more complex cameras and simple camera and all of these things. And the reality is as long as they can hear you well, they can see you well, and you're giving value in your videos in terms of information, it doesn't really matter like the editing production side of things in terms of what the video looks like. And so I really just try to keep it simple and just focus on those details. Yeah.
The value of the video, what you deliver, the value you deliver in the video is so much more important than the equipment you buy. Some of our most underperforming videos are in using the highest tech, and we just simplified it. And those are the best videos that perform the best for us. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And it really shows like simplification is key. Okay, let's see. Juan Jose Villegas asked, I'm considering joining AA soon. Can you share how long that process is? And then he also noted, clearly it depends on your speed, but what is an average? I'm curious, Marc, if you would like to share kind of like your experience there.
The length of the process until what? Because there's different steps within the program. So, the first part of AA, my understanding is anyone could join, whether you have a program already or like a specialty already created or not, right? Like, you want to do something. And so I think the time frame will be different depending on where you are in that process. But that first phase of things is basically figuring out what it is, who you want to talk to, who your ideal client is, what kind of program you want to create around that. And I've seen people do it in as little as a couple of months.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't have to have the full thing fleshed out. I've seen many people. So I've referred others into the program, other friends and colleagues. And, some of them just had very basic ideas when they joined. And one of the things that one of them did was they created the program as they were doing it, right? So they didn't have to like sit down and create this whole thing before. as they got members into their program and as they were releasing each module, they were basically creating their program as well. So it really just depends on how you go about it and what markers someone's looking for when they're talking about time frame, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I just want to add the clarification, like, as long as you have an expertise, you are an expert at what you do, this process, like the blueprint, will work for you. You have to have an expertise in the thing that you do. But I want to note that that question varies. There really is no one size fits all. And so to piggyback on Marc's answer, I will say it's tricky because some members will come in and get it done within 2 months, like Marc, like truly put their head down, carve out time and do it. And some members may not even touch the program for 2 months, right? So it totally depends on the person. But I will say the more time and effort and energy you commit to this, the more efficient you can be in your process because you have a blueprint now. That's the beauty of it. It's like, I like to think of AA as the full puzzle piece. Like, it's a full puzzle. The team are the puzzle piece experts. And then our YouTube content are just small pieces of the puzzle out of order, just completely out of order. And so you can take all of our content from YouTube and try to do it on your own, or you can save so much time and do it very efficiently with us. So it's kind of like, that's how you have to look at it. Like, do you want to save the time or do you want to try to figure it out on your own? Is my biggest thing for you, Juan. So I'm hoping that's helpful for you. I'll answer one last question, and then we can kind of wrap up here just to save Marc some time. But the question is, can you pay in installments for the AA program? Absolutely. And our team is happy to chat with you about that as well. But again, the best way to have that conversation is going to the link on the website. I'll just drop it again in the chats just so everyone has it here. I'm just going to scroll quickly down to see if I see any other questions. I think... Oh, okay. I guess Robert Bailey's question is kind of relevant to you, Marc, so I'll ask you this question.
Okay.
How long were you working on the program before you were able to relaunch the program?
Oh, we relaunched it, I want to say within 3 or 4 months. I don't remember exact. So like, I joined AA 6 years ago. So I like some of the time frame I don't recall off the top of my head, but it was in a relatively short period of time. There were a lot of things we changed, and we had to be very systematic about how we did it because we already had a structure we were working within. We had to be methodical of how we changed it, and we already had some members in our previous program that we were working with that we didn't want to, we still needed to accommodate and take care of. So we just had to have a process for it. But I think it was about 3 or 4 months before we changed it and then relaunched it. Or actually launched. What I ended up doing was creating something new as a result. And my old program became my lower ticket item, and I just created an entirely different program as a result of that. So that took about 3 or 4 months, and then we just moved forward from there.
I love that. Thank you so much for answering that. And I'm hoping that's helpful for you, Rob. Okay. Thank you again, Marc. It's amazing. We still have almost 100 members or 100 viewers here watching this live stream. So again, thank you so much, Marc, for being here today. Thank you for sharing your story so openly and also giving us a behind the scenes look at your own journey. It's really just so great. We're always so grateful whenever we have our members kind of share what's coming up for them, how their journey has gone. And so your generosity in sharing not just your wins, but also the lessons that you've learned along the way is going to inspire so many people who are walking a similar path. And so to everyone else watching, if Marc's story resonated with you, take a moment to drop a thank you in the chat for him. Again, Marc, we appreciate you so much. It really does take courage to share this kind of transformation. And we're just so grateful to have you, Marc, in the community. And also, we're so proud of the work you're doing, Marc. And so not just in your business, but also in the lives of the couples you help every single day. And so if you're watching this and you're ready, of course, if you're watching this and you're ready to take on take your expertise and turn it into a highly scalable online program, then I'd love to invite you again to apply to the Authority Accelerator. Just go to the link that is on the screen. It's sunnylenarduzzi.com/apply. And then also a quick note, if you are having trouble finding a time that works for you, then I'm going to put an email here for you. You can actually email us at sunnylenarduzzi.com with the subject line course if you are having trouble finding a time. Okay. So I wanted to make sure that that's available for you. Awesome. Okay. Thank you all for joining us. We hope you're walking away with ideas, with inspiration, and the belief that if Marc can do it, then you can do it too. And then until next time, take care and keep building the legacy that you're meant to lead. Thanks, everyone. Bye.